Hey, Steve.
Hi, David.
Hi, Gary.
Hey, how you doing, David?
Great. See Kayla's name, but not Kayla, but that's all right.
Okay. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Gary.
How's the house coming, Gary?
Good, good. It's moving along. The pretty much the outside's built. All the internal walls are built. We're having radiating heat. It's a walkout basement, so we ran the tubings yesterday, and they'll pour that floor soon. So plumber's starting his work. It's getting there.
I hope you locked in on your wood prices
I
before
did.
this craziness took off.
I did. The plywood's like over $90 a sheet now.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're using that Advantech stuff.
Vantech, yep.
Yeah,
That's good stuff.
yeah. I'm impressed with the build so far. I mean, even with the collar ties, besides nailing, they screwed them as well for the ceilings and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, you were gonna say what?
Oh, I was just going to say, doing a small bathroom renovation project for my in-laws with my wife's uncle and brother-in-law, and we needed one sheet of plywood to do a patch on the floor. And Michelle's uncle went and picked it up, and he came back and he's like, "Yep, that was $100." It's like, holy moly!
That's crazy.
Yep, I don't know how anybody's doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think if we had to do the contract now, we wouldn't be doing it.
I'm thinking I'm going to take my garage apart and sell it for pieces.
There you go.
Might be my retirement plan.
Yeah, it's got to break someday. I mean, I hear the mills have plenty of wood. They're just not milling right now because they're capitalizing on the price.
Yeah, the other part, I can't remember who I was talking to, but transportation, finding people to drive, a tractor trailer truck full of wood from here to there is apparently there are a limited number of people doing it.
Wow.
So everybody's getting cut along the way.
Domino effect. Oh, well. We'll get through this like everything else.
Yep.
Ups and downs. So we're just, okay.
Communicated a couple times back and forth with Matt yesterday, so I'm sure he'll be jumping in. I haven't heard from Linwood, but
Okay. How's everything going in the town?
we're making progress every day. And the board on Monday decided that as of their meeting June 14th, unless something changes, we're going back to in-person meetings.
Oh, nice.
All our committees. So that'll be a welcome relief. I mean, Zoom's work, but
it gets old after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realize it's not all about me, but at the moment it is. But Monday night was selectmen. We went from, I got it going 5:30ish, and we wrapped up a little after 10. And last night with Lakes and Ponds went at it for a couple hours. Today this, and then the planning board tonight, and I get zoomed out.
I hear you.
It's all good. We'll get, like Gary said, we'll get through it.
Yeah. Did you find anyone for the road commissioner position yet?
We have not looked.
I guess you have to wait for the town vote.
Well, we could have started the search, but didn't want to be too presumptuous or irritate the voters to think we were out looking for hiring a full-time position when we didn't have the money. And Bernard's agreed to help us out after his term ends in June. So
great.
Yeah, it'll be good. I don't think he really wants to be road commissioner come winter, or fulfill that role where people call him to complain about roads and
Oh,
we'll see. Well, I see Matt's connecting twice.
Yeah.
Must have a lot to say.
Yeah, start video. Hey there.
There's Matt once.
Who's
Somehow,
Matt?
somehow on
How
my
I did
screen,
that.
I see where you're joining twice. Look,
There you go.
now you're down to one. How's things down
How have
the
y'all
coast?
been? Good, good. You get some thunder showers this afternoon, possibly?
Mm.
That'll ruin your golf game.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll put a damper on your golf game this afternoon.
You
No
know
time
me
for
too well, dude.
No time for that. Only after hours.
I am fortunate enough to be playing at the Samoset for the Big Brothers tournament on Friday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Keep it off the beach. You'll be all right.
Yeah, and the rocks. And,
Yeah.
and the trees. And
I'm not much of a golfer, but I had my best shot ever at the Samoset. I can't remember what hole it is. It goes right along the shore, and I hit it. And I don't usually hook, but on that hole I did, and down it went. Hit a rock on the beach and bounced straight back into the middle of the fairway. I should have just picked up then and quit for the rest of my life and had a better story.
Oh, like a member's bounce.
Yeah.
just waiting on Linwood.
We are.
Yeah, it's just 10 o'clock now, so.
I'm not sure if they called you, David, but we did win the town of Rockport business. So if you did speak with them, thank you.
You didn't win it. You earned it.
I earned it. Well, they've been with Bar Harbor Bank for many, many years, and like what we are doing in terms of mutual funds, and they're complete opposite of us. They use individual stocks. So.
Yeah, Rockport's going through a little bit of a transition in leadership.
Yeah. Duke is going back to his hometown.
Yep. Have you worked with him in Newcastle or anything?
No.
No.
I think I've met him at the your meeting there in Rockland, your mid coast.
He's a good guy. Rockport's a interesting town. So.
Well, I met Megan. She's very, very capable.
Yep.
Easy to work with.
Well, until they sign the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the vice chair of this group? Should I try to call Linwood? I don't have Linwood's phone. I'm going to mute myself and run down the hall and give Linwood a call and see if I can find him.
Okay, great. Kayla, is the town still requiring to be masked in the building?
As of June 1st, so nothing's changing until June 1st. As of June 1st, vaccinated people can come in without a mask.
Okay.
But it's in the honor system. We're not, asking anybody. And then employees can be unmasked if they're vaccinated. non-vaccinated employees will have to wear a mask if they are outside of their personal office.
I went to the Hannaford's in Belfast the other day. It was so weird. Like some people had masks on, some people didn't. Some workers had masks on, some people. And I'm like, am I supposed to wear one, or are these just rebels? Or because there was no sign saying that, you know, what the rules would change, but there was no mask sign either. So
Yeah, it seems like most people will have a sign somewhere that says if you're vaccinated, you know, no
Mhm.
mask. If you're, oh, let me see if I can grab David.
yeah, that's
Hold on.
like, good morning, Linwood. David's just trying to call you.
Hey, guys.
Hey, David was just trying to
Hey,
call you. So.
I'm here. Where's Dave?
He'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I had,
He's on his way back.
yeah, I was just flipping from one computer to the other, and I was a little bit delayed with making sure I could get this link over on the other computer. So, how are you all?
Good. You?
Good.
Good. You know, enjoying being maskless, and that's always a positive. So,
Oh yeah.
so, so right now, what are we doing? Waiting for Matthew?
No, he's here.
Yep, we're all set.
We're all
set.
here.
Okay. Oh, so you're waiting on me. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, well, let's get this meeting started, and I guess we got Matthew's reports. Everybody got Matthew's reports?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can just proceed with a review. Turn it over to Matthew.
Thanks, Linwood. Wanted to start by looking at the performance summary here, the one-page report with the pie chart, and look at year-to-date through April, which is your fiscal year-to-date column in the middle. If I'm talking funny or drooling here, it's because I had some dental work done recently, and it's giving me some issues. So I just wanted to give you that disclaimer there. So the middle column, fiscal year to date, 1.94 above the blended benchmark by 44 basis points. This has been a year where bonds have gone down in value, negative returns in that space. If you go down that column, second to the bottom, you'll see the intermediate government credit benchmark is down 1.37 against the portfolio, which is down just 42 basis points. That's a reflection of a very short bond portfolio that we have. That we've had that in place for some time. Obviously, want to guard against interest rate risk, and I think so far this year, that having that short-term bond portfolio has worked out well for us, and that's something I've always harped on in the past. That on a relative basis, sometimes our fixed income looked like we were performing below the benchmark due to the fact that we were a short-term bond portfolio against an intermediate bond benchmark. Here's a case where that's working for us, and I'm glad we have those short-term CDs and bonds in the portfolio and the bond funds. Any questions on the performance there? Just moving over to the statement, showing you the portfolio summary on page 2. The allocations are lined up with the town's policy, as usual. Just under 5% cash, 25% equity, 70% bonds. Down below, you'll see the rate of return. That's through yesterday. So it's been a pretty good month for the portfolio. We've added to that the 1.9. We're up to 2.36 as of almost month end, as you can see down the bottom right-hand corner. Moving on to page 3 and the equity funds. Still have the Calamos Market Neutral Fund, which is hedging against volatility. I have reduced that position slightly, but I do still have some of it in the portfolio. I think I think we're fairly valued in the equity markets. We could have a correction some point here going forward. If we see rates move up closer to 2% on the 10-year, I'd expect to see a pullback in equity markets. At that point, if we do have a 10-point correction, I may actually remove the rest of that hedge at that point and allocate those proceeds into the other equity funds. Splitting up value and growth last year, I think worked out well for us. If you remember, we wanted to have a slight bias to value starting last fall, and through the 4 months of this year, that's worked out well for us. Value has outperformed growth by a wide margin, and that's a rotation that we've seen away from some of the large cap tech stocks into more of the financials and utilities and commodities have all done very well this year as value has outperformed. And you can see that the NASDAQ is going to have a losing month for the first time since October. So the NASDAQ hasn't been doing too poorly, but value has, on a relative basis, has outperformed growth over the last 6 months or so. Keeping those allocations about the same for now, with a bit of a bias there to about 190,000 in value, over 150 in growth. We're going to keep that on for the time being. I think if we do have rates move up, that's not going to be good for large cap growth. So we're gonna keep that value play in for the time being. Page 4, so we get into the fixed income portfolio. If you look at the right-hand column, the yield, we're fortunate to have some of these CDs we purchased several years ago when the 10-year was closer to 3%. We bought a lot of 5-year CDs at that time, and they're not callable. And it's great that we still have them in the portfolio, throwing off yields of anywhere from 2.5% to 3% or a little bit higher than that. So that worked out that we acquired a lot of the fixed income around that 2018 timeline. We also still have the bond funds in here, and the big winner in the fund category has certainly been the short-term inflation protected fund, which has helped tremendously in terms of being a hedge. That fund is up through April. It's up just under 2%, when you have most bond funds are down anywhere between 0.5%, 2% year to date. So it's good to have that TIPS fund in there for a hedge, and so far it's worked out well for us. Any questions on the portfolio? Just looking at some of the activity here, if you go to page 11 on the statement, you'll see where we purchased into the mutual funds earlier in the year, January, February, as some of the CDs came due. I took the proceeds and put them into our bond funds, with the exception of the Templeton Global Fund, which we removed from the portfolio. And the proceeds of that went into some of the other funds. Into the inflation protected fund had probably been the most increase in terms of allocation. over the quarter. So that worked out for us pretty well. Going forward, as these CDs come due, I just can't pull the trigger on reinvesting in the CDs at this time. If you've looked at the rates, 2-year CD right now is 20 basis points. So that's just the risk reward there just doesn't make it much sense to me when you consider, inflation. The buying power of that money's going down buying a 2-year CD. So we're sticking with the funds when we do have CDs coming due, putting those proceeds into the inflation protected and the short-term bond funds and getting a little bit more of a yield than we could in CDs at this time. So that's what I have for you today. Any questions or comments?
My only question was, where do we go when the maturities start to come up? And you just answered that for me.
Yeah, and especially if we see the 10-year, it seems to be in this 50 basis point range of 1.5% to 2%. When it gets up closer to 2%, we will have times when it will spike up. If we get hot data that comes in, rates moving up, then I'll try to be a little strategic about moving money into the funds when we see spikes in rates, because it just seems to be in that range between 1.5% to 2%. It makes sense to me to add to those funds when we have higher rates, so that if it moves back to that 1.5% range, then that's going to work out well for us as rates go down, those bond prices go up. So that would be my my call going forward. And like I said, CD rates they are what they are. I'm not going to go out and dip my toe into corporates. I don't want that risk in the portfolio. I'd rather have it in a basket like the bond funds. And so I don't have to worry about default risk.
I have a question, Matthew. How much is rolling off this year on these bonds that are going to have to be reinvested? And what do you think? What do you think the time frame is for interest rates to kind of peak out before they stabilize, or I don't know. I don't think they'll be coming down, but at least stabilize. Is that all Fed dependent, and who knows what that is? Or
yeah, it is, and the data as well. If 6 months from now we've thrown too much stimulus at the economy and we're having inflation moving higher, we at least we do have the TIPS fund in here for that hedge. But the Fed's indicated they're not ready to raise rates anytime soon. They're not even thinking about raising rates, and I think it's going to be at least maybe fourth quarter of next year before they make their first move. So like I said, it's we're basically in that, I think, that range this year, 1.5 to 2. And we have, let's see, a lot of it's the portfolio is not coming due, Linwood, until 2023. And a lot of them are locked in at 3%. So we're looking good there. Just looking at this eyeballing, I think we only have about 250 to 300 coming off this year.
okay, so it sounds like at least the bond performance should stay relatively steady, at least over this year. At least we're getting a 3% coupon on the deal, so it's still pretty strong.
Hey, yeah, I think when you have a portfolio that's 70% fixed income, you have the intermediate index is down 1.5%, 2%. We're doing quite well, just hedging as much as we can. And obviously the equity side is helping us stay above the Mendoza line there and getting us a little bit of a return. So.
Anybody else have any other questions for Matthew?
No.
I have a quick question for Dave or for Kayla. How much, is there any of the reserve this year that's going to be used to fill some of the budget this year? Or is it gonna roll over the surplus?
We're gonna have just this small expense out of the harbor fund for a project at the harbor, but you're talking 25,000. And the selectmen have recommended this off the top of my head. Kayla's gonna look to verify this, using 600,000 from undesignated fund to reduce the property tax commitment for the coming year. But we have, we should end the year in a good spot to begin with in terms of expending monies. So I don't think you're going to see a lot of change in what we need from that. And the other thing that's just came up as of Monday, the fire department purchased, or the town purchased with donated monies here in 2013, piece of land on the beach road for a future replacement of the beach fire station. And they're going to put together, or they've put together, a little building committee to start looking at that replacement. Perhaps as early start construction as next year. The beach fire station fund has, round numbers, $300,000 in it right now. It's not really a big station. It's the beach station itself has one truck in it. The replacement station would be 2 bays, big enough to take 2020 trucks versus 1950 trucks.
Where's that located?
Just up the beach road from the current beach fire station, or the new location?
New location.
Okay, the new location is basically a quarter mile towards the center from the intersection of Slab City, Duck Trap, Beach Road.
Okay.
It's a 3.1 acre wooded site right now.
Before the intersection or right after the intersection?
Depends on which way you're going.
After
After the intersection,
towards
if you're
town?
coming from the beach towards the center,
Okay.
it's on the beach
There's an
road.
old house around there too, right?
What's that?
By that old house that looks like it's fallen down.
Yeah, it's after that house.
Okay.
There's a horse stable or riding rink on the ocean side. It's on the other side of the road from that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I was looking this morning in regards to adjustments I have to do for the end of the fiscal year. I have about 100,000 that I'd have to pull out of the different accounts, but the school's looking to put about 200,000 in from their partial fund that they had left over from last fiscal year. So I think we're going to end up putting a little bit more into the investments than taking out of them. And in regards to the checking account, I have a good amount in there to continue running everything until taxes are due in November. So I don't think I'm going to make any big flips or anything with anything there.
Okay. So Matthew, just to kind of summarize, basically the plan going forward, at least for the rest of the year, is on the equity side, steady as she goes. And then on the bond side, as things roll off, to the extent they do roll off, just put that into short-term bond funds or inflation protected. And that's pretty much that's the 2020-21 kind of plan.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna play a little bit of defense. Again, I'm not going to go and look for yield. I think at this point, there's really nothing out there that I want to touch, and definitely in the CD market. And I'd prefer just to use the funds, and that way we can allocate across, not just the short term, but as you said, the inflation protected, and be on the defensive, if you will, in case rates were to move up from here.
No other asset allocation changes, percentages, or anything like that. Just keep it as is.
Yeah. We have, like I said, we're going to keep that bias on for value. The international piece, the international is working a little bit better this year compared to last, and emerging markets is lagging a little bit, but we think that space is going to catch up going forward this year. So we like where we are in terms of those allocations in the different markets.
Does anybody else have any questions, observations, comments?
No, there's not much to do.
Okay, I guess the next step is to schedule the late year meeting. So late November.
Hopefully in person.
That's right. No masks, hopefully. Now, does the town still have to wear masks in the office?
As of next Tuesday, we'll be going to, in essence, for customers, a don't ask, don't tell, where we'll have signs indicating that fully vaccinated are optional. And if you're unvaccinated, to please wear a mask, or required to wear a mask, but we're not asking staff to police that. And then staff has the option, if you're fully vaccinated, to wear mask if you prefer. And if you're unvaccinated for a period of time, we're going to have mask requirements for staff.
Okay.
And we will be opening up a little bit more of the, for lack of a better word, the front half of the building. The map room's been closed, and the meeting room's obviously been closed because we haven't had any meetings, and the restrooms have been closed, and all that will be opening back up Tuesday of next week.
Great. Okay, let's see. So we will have an in-person meeting. So we want to do something in December before the holidays.
Mhm.
Or do you want to wait till after calendar year end? Is there any?
I can do that too. That would be actually, probably better.
I think we've been trying little front loading the year a little bit, but we've been waiting the first meeting till after Matt had calendar year end stuff, and then have this meeting in advance of town meeting in case there was something, that needed to be done.
Yeah.
Dramatically at town meeting, but
Yeah, and then in January, I also have to do the presentation to the select board. So it's good to have year-end information anyway. We can kind of pull it all into one big happy bow. So you want to do something in January, mid-ish January? Like Matthew should have reports by the week of the 17th, 16th, 17th?
Yes.
Anybody have a preference, or should we just book it for Tuesday, the 18th,
That would work for me.
Work for me.
10 o'clock?
Fine.
10 o'clock.
Okay, it's on my calendar.
Okay.
Okay, good. Great. All right.
Judith Linwood.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
Okay, we are done.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you all.
Good to see you all.
Good to see you all.
Yeah.
Matthew, good luck with your the dental work.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know how that feels, believe me, it sucks.
Been there.
Take care.
Worst thing in the world. All right. Bye now.
Bye-bye now.